how do we, sort of take away the noise and the distraction of maybe some of our own thoughts or some things that we're seeing on a resume to cut through and see if this person is actually who they say they are, and more importantly, will actually be who they say they are 90 to 120 to a year from now?
Aside from a lie detector test during the interview.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, there's no guarantees you're ever gonna, prevent anyone from telling you they know something or do something that they've never done before, right? That's part of the problem. That's why there is no magic bullet. Or somebody may be able to show up and act like they really want this job when in the end they're just, super desperate and just really just want a job. I mean, there's so many layers here. But I kind of want to rewind for a minute. Well, first of all, you used a great word there. You used the word behave, right? Which is the how, which is what you do, right? It's very specific when it comes to the assessment that Kolbe is. But I think it's also the part that's overlooked the most is we talk about what somebody knows and their personality, right? What they care about or how they interact with other people, how they communicate, right? And I think the truth of the matter is it all starts internally. So yes, Colby can give you some insights about other people, but what I think it can do even more is give you insights about who you are and how you work, right? As the leader, as the hiring manager. And I think a lot of times hiring managers, leadership in the context of business, right, don't look internally. What am I really expecting here, right? What do I do naturally with the least amount of stress, most productively, so that I can understand what are the things I really do need to delegate. How am I expecting other people to be where I'm not realizing that not everyone is like me, right? Like I mentioned that example of being super detail oriented. If you're a leader who is super detail oriented and you hire somebody who is not, the question is that what you always are going to expect of everyone else, or judge someone for not being that way? Or is it actually that you need somebody to help you whittle things down and become aware of where your strength gaps are? I think it's really the biggest use and the most important thing here is to not have somebody like me come in and be like, well, I need a hire. You tell me who's going to be good. It's like, let's talk about you, right? Let's talk about you and let's talk about your current team and what they're struggling and what they may be doing that's outside of their strength so that you can then decide like, what's the real role we need here? Who's the person that's going to come in and like take things off of people's plates they really shouldn't be doing? A lot of companies will create roles, job descriptions that already they're shooting themselves in the foot because there's all kinds of conflicting stuff in there. It's like the kitchen sink is thrown into the thing because that's all the stuff you need to get done. And you're not thinking, you're never going to find somebody to fit that role. So there's a lot here. It's not as simple as, again, there's no magic bullet, and it's still certainly not as simple as, well, let's just assess these people to find out how they're going to behave. You need to understand how you behave, how everybody else behaves, how you need somebody to come in and behave in order to match that against all your candidates and evaluate people.